Hi guys, welcome back to Paranormal Princess, the channel for all things ghosty, paranormal and spooky. Spooky. Ooh. I have my tea black, by the way. Oh, I can't show you it because it'll probably fall out. I have my tea black. Hit me in the comments below. Hit me? Don't hit me. Hit me up in the comments below if you have black tea. Firstly, I just want to say a massive thank you to everyone that has watched my first video and liked it and commented on it. I really appreciate it. Some of them aren't people that I know as well. To you guys, thank you so much. That's so supportive. Thank you for subscribing. And if you haven't subscribed yet, please hit that subscribe button and like, ring the bell, do everything. So I would suggest that if you haven't watched the first video, just go back and watch it, because this is like a follow-on and you kind of want to be, you know, on the journey with everyone else. Before I start, I just want to do something. This isn't a paid promotional thing. This is something that I genuinely want to share with you guys. Witchy Wicks, right? Their candles, it smells so good. What is this? Sandalwood. So basically it's so cool. You go onto their website and you can pick, they're witches and they do spells on their candles. And you can pick what spell you want. So I chose luck because I was down on my luck a little bit, and then genuinely my luck got better. It's got a spell attached to it. The spell for luck is, I recite this spell and so it shall be that luck shall radiate all around me. I genuinely said that every single time that I lit it. Unfortunately now it's out, so I'm going to order a new one. They also do wax melts. They do burners, so you like break the thing and put it in. They also do free samples, like, so if you order one of these you'll get a free sample, which I thought was really nice. They also do these burners that are cauldrons. I want it here. I'm going to be ordering it probably next week. I'll leave their website down below just so that you can see the link and maybe buy their candles. So this lot of stories makes me really, honestly, like, makes me really uncomfortable. And when I tend to talk about it, it makes stuff happen. So if I'm not uploading my next video on Monday, then you know it's happened, send for me. But basically, I'm going to start with some of the things my mum's experienced, which she hates talking about it because, I don't know, she doesn't believe, but then she does, because she saw a Victorian boy on the landing. Wasn't particularly threatening, but you know, she saw that, definitely. There tends to be this thing that happens to me, my sister and my mum, where we will see something in the corner of our eye, like a black shadow, but it's weird, like it looks like a person, but like all just shadow. My mum's seen that. One of the things that happened that was really creepy, me and my sister were downstairs. We must have been downstairs for like 3 hours. We were watching a film or something, and my mum had gone to bed early. When we came up to come to bed eventually, she was like, well, I'd really appreciate you girls if you didn't wake me up by slamming doors and running around. And we were like, we didn't do that. Like, we've been down here watching a film. And she'd heard someone, basically, we've got stairs and a door like closes, you know, and she'd heard that door open, the door slam, someone running up the stairs, running across the landing into our bedroom and slamming the door shut. It's the point where obviously she woke up midway and then heard it happening. Of course she could have been dreaming it. It could have all been just a dream. But even though she's seen a Victorian child, she is a skeptic. And she wouldn't just say something like that. So when something happens to my mum, like, it's happened, in my opinion. So now I'm going to get into the kind of nastier things. So my sister, she was in the garden. We had like a strawberry bush and she was picking strawberries. She must have been about 10 because she's the most pure child in the world. Picking the strawberries, and she looks up at our bedroom window and sees what she thought was a doll with cuts on its face. A doll. I was sat in the living room, I remember coming in, absolutely, like, the terror in that child was very scary. And she was, there's a doll with cuts on its face, and that's the most terrifying thing anyone could ever say to anyone. There's a doll with cuts on its face staring at me outside of that window. Like, can you imagine? Eventually I had to go upstairs because it's my room, So when I went up, there was nothing there. We don't have dolls with cuts on their faces. We don't collect those things. So I don't know what it was. I think that if it was anything, it was probably a girl and not a doll, and Emma, just being young, thought that it was a doll, but it must have been a girl, or, you know, something like that. I then moved out. So this is what I'm talking about now, is I've moved out. I've moved to London to go to drama school. And the topic that I'm going to talk about now is voices. Because for those of you that don't know, demons and things like that can use their voices to trick you into thinking that you're their relative. And if you hear your relative's voice and it's not them, it's supposed to be a sign, and it's supposed to be really dangerous. Especially when there's no chance that it could be that person. Basically, I was in London, way far away from the bathroom in my mum's room in Stockport. And she was, you know, doing whatever she was doing. And she heard me shouting her name, like, "Mum, Mum." And she was just confused, because she was like, "Well, Jess is in London, how can she be in there?" Obviously I wasn't in there, nothing was in there. And that's when you know that it's bad. And I remember being on the phone to her saying, "That's obviously a demon." And I'm going, "Shut up, Jess, don't talk about it. Don't want to hear that." Because she gets very scared, even though she doesn't believe in it, which she definitely does. And then fast forward to me being in 3rd year in drama school. I was at my boyfriend's mum's house, and we were sat watching Conjuring 2, and it was like dead of night. No one was awake, nothing like that. And we were sat there, and bear in mind, we were like, the TV was probably, it was literally just there, like it was super close to us, and we had it on just average volume. We heard someone or something walk up to his door and breathe really heavily, but to the point where we could hear it over the TV, which was insane. Like, we both at the same time were like, "What is that?" And it was just this thing, like going, ooh, I literally just got goosebumps. And as well, when you looked, you could see a shadow underneath like the little like gap between the door and the floor. And Paul doesn't believe in this stuff, even though he's experienced things, and he just went and opened the door and no one was there. And he opened it almost immediately. It could have been his stepdad sleepwalking or whatever, but what else I'm about to tell you, which also links it together, kind of suggests it wasn't. And then this happened, and this was actually a couple of months ago that this happened. We were in bed and I was like dead asleep. And Paul woke up and he heard someone standing outside of the bedroom door breathing. And he woke me up. But you know, when you're, even me who's obsessed with all this stuff and gets scared like really easily, I was just so not up for being awake at that point. I was like, okay, yeah, it's not anything, just go back to sleep. And then in the morning I was like, "Why did you wake me up?" And he said there was someone on the other side of the door just breathing, and it woke him up. It was that loud, like that thing again, fucking breathing. I swore again. I think you're allowed. What are they gonna do? Take my video down probably, but yeah, that breathing thing again, which disturbs me because it feels, I can't explain it, honestly, I can't explain it. It feels like the same thing. It just feels like the same thing. The same thing that did the candle on the bed, the same thing that did the scratching and banging in my wardrobe, the same thing that did copying my voice. And that's not the only time it's happened. Now I'm going to share something that's happened really recently. It was like 2 weeks ago. My sister FaceTimes me and she's totally panicked, saying Lola will not stop barking at the door. This door is the back door to the garden. So hindsight, you know, she could have been barking at a fox, she could have been barking at something, but then this happens. So Emma's just trying to calm her down because it's really annoying. It's like quite late, it's like 10 o'clock at night, and she's like, "Come on, blah, blah, blah." And then she tells me that away from the kitchen door and all that, around the corner in the living room, she hears a growl, like something growling at her, which really scared me, honestly, because when things start growling, that's when you know that's a demon. You'll have watched Paranormal Activity. You'll know how that ends. That is not happening to me. If you're listening, that is not happening to me. Oh, I don't want to like, oh, because it actually really freaks me out. I'm just gonna, it's okay. Yeah, it growled at my sister, which is fabulous. That's where we are now. Stuff just happens, you know, as time goes on, and it gets to a point where you've experienced so much that you just can't sit there and say to yourself that there's no such thing. Like for me, there's no doubt, there just isn't a doubt because I've experienced it. However, I can understand, you know, people that are like, absolutely not, because it is strange and it is weird, but at the same time, imagine being the person that's seen it, like seriously, like, and experienced all that stuff. It just feels like, oh, what's gonna happen next? That's how it feels for me. My mum's also said to my sister, which my sister wasn't supposed to tell me, but she did. By the way, she's going to be watching this now, so she told me, that my mum thinks that I've got something following me, because when I left, pretty much the Paranormal Activity stopped, obviously apart from hearing my voice and the growl, which I don't understand. I don't understand it. If it's on me, then, but it can move, can't it? It can be with a family, or it can, I don't know. Those are my stories. I think I'm also going to be looking at different other hospital kind of ghost stories. There's something really interesting about a hospital, about the feelings that a hospital has. That'll be my next video. A little side note, I was going to post every Monday and Thursday because I had an idea about a Thursday video, which is something a little bit different, but I've decided to hold back on that because I just want to focus on the paranormal stuff for now. So I'll be posting every single Monday to brighten up your Mondays. Thank you so much for joining me. I hope you enjoyed it, and let me know in the comments down below anything that you've experienced. Please subscribe and like, and check out my previous video, and also check out my Instagram and my Twitter as well. And you can learn a bit more about me just as a person. Keep smiling. Got my tattoo. I probably showed that. It's a bee. And bye.